in the digital media classroom here at Wellington High School. Welcome to, once again, another episode of Dialogue with the Dukes. This morning's show, as always, is being brought to you by the Patricia Lindley Center for the Performing Arts, located in the McCormick Middle School, adjacent to the Wellington High School, and also by the Wellington Music Store, located at 117 West Herrick, here in downtown Wellington. This morning, our helpers are Megan Bartotto and Kaden Sharapita. This morning, we are honored to have a young lady, a four-sport athlete to my immediate left, Grace Dudziak. Grace, welcome. Grace is a football player. She's a basketball player. She runs track and field, and she's also on the girls' soccer team. So, four-sport athlete is quite impressive here at Wellington High School, needless to say. Well, because the fall sports have been going on all year, in fact, we only have one more football game left, and then everything else is all done. I thought I'd bring in Grace because she was involved in two of those 6 sports that are competed in the fall. First of all, Grace, you certainly had a phenomenal year so far, haven't you?
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah. Well, I want to concentrate first of all on your football skills, and I've heard from several people, coaches, Mr. Bowman, athletic director, but I want to get from you, why did you decide to become the place kicker on the football team, and how did it actually take place?
Well, it kind of, it just happened, it was during track season, and Coach Kimmick, our special teams coach, is the track coach, and we, were at practice one day, and some of the football guys were out, trying to kick some field goals, and me and some of my soccer friends who run track, we were Coach, can we go kick some? He didn't care. So we went out and we were kicking, and turned out I made some, and the coach came out and he was like, you're gonna kick? And I was just like, sure. He's like, well, is your mom okay with it? I'm like, I mean, probably. She supports me and everything, so I don't think she'd care. Even though when I told her, she was a little scared, but she's grown on it, and I'm so happy I did it. So, but yeah, it's been really great.
Mm-hmm. Well, and right now you're the 4th leading scorer on the team. With Ben was number 1, and of course Mason's number 2, and John Brzee number 3, and you're number 4 with 30 points so far this year. And hopefully at Firelands, which is our final game this week, you'll get a whole bunch more, and maybe you'll get a field goal or 2. Who knows? Well, this year you were honored by the student body. You were chosen as homecoming queen. And I have to bring up the point that my wife, when she saw a picture of you and Ben in the paper, she said, how many times when they have a picture of the high school king and queen, how many times do you see both of them in a football uniform? Talk to us about what it was like to become and be honored as the homecoming queen.
It's definitely nerve-wracking, especially before a big game. It was just, my emotions were kind of everywhere because I was trying to focus on the game, then you have to go walk, but it was really great, especially to win with Ben, because he's my holder and I've gotten close to him through everything, and but it was really awesome to be your student body vote you in on something like that, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely made my senior year's been very eventful. So.
Well, you've already been through one senior, well in this case it was senior day for girls soccer, and now you're, just like you said, you're so keyed up for the game and everything, and yet Friday night it's going to be senior night again. Yep. So you're going to kind of go through the same thing. So how are you going to prepare for senior night, because this will be your last football game? You've already had your last soccer game. What's it going to be like for your last football game being a senior?
Well, you gotta make it like any other warm up, regular. Just, you mentally have to be ready for the game and not focusing on everything else.
Well, Grace has been asked to do an awful lot of interviews recently, especially in the last couple of weeks. She was on Fox News and so on because of one thing that you did, and that was to, for lack of a better term, save the game against Oberlin. I have to think all kinds of things must have been going through your head when you set up. Coach obviously must have told you it was going to be a squib kick. So tell us everything from the point that you came out onto the field, everybody was yelling for you and everything. Talk to us about that kick and how you eventually ended up streaking across the field to make that final tackle.
Well, coach gives me the option always. Like, he goes, when you get out there, you look. It, like, towards the beginning, it was mostly him telling me to kick.
Right.
Now I kind of like see where's like the opening. So yeah, I was going for. You can't do a deep kick in the air normally because they recover it too easily. So I went for it on the ground. I mean, it was like a good kick, and we had our whole team was right on the guy. It just no one like brought him down, and then he started. Like, I'm supposed to shadow the person with the ball.
Right.
So like, I mean, I didn't think he was gonna get all the way down the field for this part. So I mean, but if you watch the film, like, I actually tried to like tackle him, but like I was just worrying about like contain and don't let him like get around you. Like, I've learned that in every sport you have to contain.
Sure.
And so then yeah, when he hit me though, I mean, if you watch it, honestly, I tried hitting him, but it looks like he's just running me over.
I don't think so.
But it happened, so he went out of bounds. That's all that matters.
That's exactly right. Yeah, well, it was the whole play. When we were up in the booth calling it, he picked it up on the 18-yard line. He initially went to his right, and then kind of came up against the wall of our tacklers. Reversed his field, went down the left side, and our color analyst started yelling in the box, get him, and then all of a sudden he yelled, "There goes Grace!" and we couldn't tell because it was so far on the other side of the field. We couldn't tell, and then all of a sudden I saw the whole football team go, "Yay!"
Yeah.
And all the coaches were in the booth right next to us, and they started screaming. I said, "Oh, she got him!" Yeah. But anyway, it was a fantastic play, and you will be forever known not only as the first place kicker here at Wellington High School, but the young lady who saved the Oberlin game for us, and you will be forever known for that. I don't know how you feel about that, but you will be forever known for that. Well, when we come back after this commercial, we're going to be talking about the fantastic girls soccer team here at Wellington High School. We will be back. This is Dialogue with the Dukes.
Wellington Music. They have everything from A to Z.
They have amps of all shapes and sizes.
Basses, banjos, and drums.
Some guitars, more guitars, a whole bunch of guitars.
Oh, and this guitar, a mandolin, and keyboards.
And ukuleles of different colors.
They have brands such as Washburn, Fender, and Marshall.
And so much more. So stop by Wellington Music.
If you have any music needs whatsoever, we hope that you visit the Wellington Music Store located at 117 West Herrick here in downtown Wellington. Well, we talked during the first segment with Grace about all of her football exploits this year and how well she did as the place kicker for the Wellington High School football team. Now we do want to talk about the girls soccer team and the fact that they this year, the girls soccer team, they were 11-3-3 overall. They were the inaugural 2019 girls soccer Lorraine County League girls soccer champions. The first one, in fact, for the last 2 out of 3 years, the girls soccer team, they won 2 years ago. Well, actually 3 years. Let's see. Go back. Yeah, they won the PAC championship. Then last year we came close. I think we were in second place. Yeah. And then this year we won the league championship again in a new league. As I said, they were 11-3 overall. They were undefeated in the conference this year. They actually scored so many goals that they ended up with Elaine Remke being the goalkeeper. Although I didn't see any statistics, she was the top goaltender. And Natalie Calfo, one of our young players. All of the team did very well, and as I said last week, we did talk with Elaine and Natalie about the girls soccer team. So I'm going to turn it around a little bit. The fact that we made it all the way to the district semis against the #1 seeded team, do you feel that the girls team was successful this year?
I think every year is a successful year. Like,
That's
just
a good answer.
growing with your team, and I mean, it helps we were all together last year, but our goal the whole year was to win our new conference, which we were like, based on the teams that were in it, we were like, if we don't win, something's not right. So like, I think we kind of took it one game at a time though, especially I was thinking about it, I'm like, honestly the new conference is like, with the teams on it, it's not as hard, but when you have to play them all twice, you don't know how the teams are gonna come back and react after you beat them once. So like, beating like having to beat every team twice pretty much, honestly that's like a great accomplishment that we ended up doing. We only had one tie where we had literally no subs.
That's right. Yeah.
So,
you had 11 players because you had 3 people hurt. So yeah, exactly. And you mentioned the fact that we lost some people out of the pack, but we still had to play powerhouse teams like Keystone, Firelands, and so on. So, and as you said, we had to beat them twice. So it makes it hard. But I say it's not that you didn't have any competition, because you did. So now the fact that we were the inaugural Lorain County girls soccer champions, what did it mean to you, and what did it mean to the team?
It means everything. Like having because my sophomore year we won PAC at the time, and then last year we had a good season, but we didn't win conference, but we learned from last year and we grew for this year, and going out my senior year and winning our conference was like, it was huge, and it was a great way to end my career.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Well, we talked last week with Natalie and Elaine about the fact that it was Coach Gunder's first year. He's coached a lot of soccer before, but his first year as a varsity coach because of medical problems with the previous coach. So, as you said, it was somewhat different last year, having to deal with a brand new coaching. So yeah, it was certainly different, even though all of the seniors were back. Well, you were one of the co-captains, so I'd like for you to explain what your duties were, and also how you coach, how you help Coach Gundy.
Well, we have 4 team captains, like co-captains, but I must say I'm not that captain that's like remembers everything, and like I'm not one that goes out there and I'm like try to inspire everyone. And like Jenna Cowell, she's the one that if I'll be asking her questions, I'll be like, wait, when is this? Because I'm not the type of person for dates and everything.
Sure.
So, but honestly, I just try to go out there, especially at practices, like going between football and soccer. I know most of the girls are like, when I leave, they're like, practice is like, it just goes downhill when I'm not there. And I'm like, well, I think it's just bringing the positive attitude.
Sure.
And when I bring that, I think the whole team we just have a better time. But with Coach, I think bringing a positive attitude practice, it helps him. It makes us all want to be there, and we'll end up having a good practice.
Well, now I get to brag on Grace a little bit. We already bragged a little bit about her football exploits, and I'm going to brag about her girls soccer exploits. She was the team leader in the fact that she scored 16 goals, and in fact, including ties in the Lorain County League. In fact, all of Lorain County for that matter. She was the 4th leading scorer in all of Lorain County. And also, as far as on the team, she led the team in assists with 7. And as I just found out recently, she was also the Lorain County League most valuable player. So congratulations, Grace. It has to be a fantastic thing for your senior year, and as we said already, you had a phenomenal year so far. Were you, with all of those accolades, were you satisfied with your performance?
Yeah, because honestly, during the beginning of the season, I would never have thought I would have came out as the most valuable player or anything. Because I literally played defense up till, and then going in a brand new position this year because we lost Lauren Natalie to an injury, I had to adjust to that position, and it was the hardest thing at first, and then now I can just play that position, and I ended up doing really good there and scoring, and I think that was the biggest part from last year. This year is finding our scorers.
Right.
So, and I love that I was one of them because it's fun scoring.
Yeah, well, sure it is.
I mean, that's the point of soccer, and you get to do it a lot. It's fun. And just thanks to my teammates, because without them, you can't score in our defense. So.
Well, we talked a little bit last week with Lane and Natalie about the fact that you all went to district semis against the #1 seeded team, and we talked about the team and how they prepared and things like that. Take us through from your perspective. Take us through that district semis match and the fact that you held that #1 seeded team scoreless for just short of 60 minutes.
Well, I think definitely playing like having to the first seed is like you need to adjust because they're probably bigger, and we scouted them and we knew our plan going into it was really good. We held them and we did good. They just adjusted and they had really good players up on their offense, and they had really good ball control. But overall, I think we played great that game. We did everything we could to try to stay in it. They just pulled ahead, and not saying, but as a first seed, that's what they should have done, and they did. So, I think we went out as strong as we could have.
Yeah, and I bragged on Elaine last week, and you can brag on her too. She did a wonderful job in goal, didn't she?
Yes. That's when I got interviewed right after, that's what they brought up, and I was like, from her, she has like her confidence. She, especially being in her first year,
Exactly.
she'd always be down on herself, and especially like warming up. And I'm like, Elaine, you got this. And I'm like, you just have to admit, like, she had the right mindset that entire game, and she kept us in this way longer than probably should have been, honestly.
Well, she did as the whole team did, but she did a wonderful job in goal. Well, I asked them last week about you, and now I'm going to ask you the same question, a question that I've never asked anybody else in over 100 episodes. Do you consider yourself a role model?
Well, that question is like having to think about myself. Based off of like how my friends and everything, my teammates talk so highly about me, I feel like yes. But it's really the hardest question to reply to, because I don't want to be too confident. But I'd say yes. Just how my teammates they all love me. They do.
Well, the fact that you said yourself that you try to provide that positive aspect to the team, try to use that role to try to keep the people up, and I think that would be a perfect example. Would you not agree with that?
I agree.
Well, I have one more question for you. Since you, and again, I'm patting you on the back, I guess, a little bit, but since you excel in so many things, what do you consider or what do you envision your dream job to be in the future?
Well, I actually plan already on attending University of Toledo, and I want to go for nursing. So, but I also am trying to get a scholarship for ROTC.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, plan on becoming an Army nurse.
Okay.
If everything works out, who knows what will happen in college, changing my mind or whatever. But I feel like that's like a really hard position, and everything that I've done. Like, you have to have leadership in the Army and everything. I feel like that's something that I've like learned throughout sports and school that I'll have be really good at for that job.
Well, needless to say, we all wish you all kinds of luck. I guess I can ask one more question. Are you going to play soccer at Toledo, you think?
Probably not, actually.
Okay.
I really want to use college to focus on my career.
Well, that's understandable. Once again, we'd like to thank Grace Dudziak for coming in and talking about both her football exploits and her soccer exploits. Certainly being a first-year football player, but she's played soccer for since you were probably a little one, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you've certainly been involved with soccer quite a bit. So Grace, thank you very much for coming in. We certainly have enjoyed talking with you, as have everybody. It seems like has been wanting to interview you, and I hope you don't get tired of that, because you certainly have done a wonderful job this year. We'll be back again next week with another episode. This has been Dialogue with the Dukes.